Last night, he bought dinner for a woman in a torn coat. This morning, she steps into his marble lobby in a tailored suit. The homeless stranger he pitied was Anna Thompson, the rival standing between him and a multi-million-dollar project. And in 10 minutes, the board will decide which future survives. Before we begin, tell me where you're listening from, and tap subscribe so you never miss a story.
Mr. Carter adjusts his silk tie as rain pounds the cafe windows. The November storm has emptied downtown Seattle, leaving only scattered figures huddled under awnings. Steam rises from his untouched coffee cup. "Excuse me, sir." The woman's voice carries dignity, despite her circumstances. "I don't mean to bother you." Anna Thompson stands beside his table, her threadbare coat dripping steadily onto the polished floor. Her gray hair is pulled back with a rubber band, but her posture remains straight. "I was wondering if you might spare some change," Anna says. "Just enough for something warm." Carter looks up from his phone. Her eyes are clear, blue, intelligent. Most people would have looked away by now, but she meets his gaze directly. "Please," Anna adds softly. "It's been a difficult day." The cafe owner approaches with obvious irritation. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to move along." Carter raises his hand. "Actually, she's with me." Anna's eyebrows lift slightly, surprise flickering across her weathered features. "Would you like to sit down?" Carter asks. Anna hesitates, then slides into the opposite chair, and the cafe owner retreats with obvious confusion. Carter signals the waitress as Anna settles into her seat. The leather cushion creaks softly under her weight. "Order whatever you'd like," Carter says. "I insist." "That's very kind, but I couldn't possibly." "Please, it's no trouble at all." Anna studies the menu carefully, her fingers tracing each line. The wedding ring on her left hand catches the light, a simple gold band, polished smooth by years of wear. "The soup sounds wonderful," Anna says finally. "And perhaps some bread." The waitress approaches with barely concealed impatience. "What can I get you folks?" "The lady will have the chicken soup. And bring us some of that fresh sourdough." "Anything else?" the waitress asks. "Hot tea, please," Anna adds quietly. "Earl Grey, if you have it." As the waitress walks away, Carter leans forward. "I have a board meeting tomorrow morning. Big contract signing at 9 sharp. Anna nods politely, though something flickers in her expression. "Real estate development. Thompson Industries has been fighting us for months." Anna's cup rattles against the saucer, and Carter notices her hands are trembling. The soup arrives with fragrant steam curling upward. Anna cradles the warm bowl between her palms and her shoulders relax slightly. "This is delicious," Anna says after her first spoonful. "I haven't had a proper meal in days." Carter watches her eat with careful dignity, never rushing despite her obvious hunger. Rain continues drumming against the windows. "I'm sorry about your situation," Carter says gently. "How long have you been—" "6 months," Anna interrupts. "Since I lost my apartment." "That's terrible. What happened?" Anna's spoon pauses halfway to her mouth. "Sometimes life takes unexpected turns." "I understand." Carter says, "I've had my share of setbacks too." Anna looks up sharply. "Have you really?" "Everyone has struggles. Mine just happened to be different." The cafe door chimes as another customer enters, shaking rain from their umbrella. Anna glances toward the sound, and her expression grows distant. "Thank you for this," Anna says softly. "People don't often see past appearances." Carter nods, but his phone buzzes with an urgent message. "I'm sorry, I need to check this." Carter reads quickly. Anna continues eating her soup, and her free hand traces the rim of her teacup. Carter's phone displays a message from his assistant. "Thompson Industries called again. They want one final meeting before tomorrow." "Business never stops," Carter mutters, pocketing the device. Anna finishes her soup and dabs her mouth with the cloth napkin. "You've been more than generous, Mr. Carter," he says. "James Carter. Thank you, Mr. Carter. This kindness won't be forgotten." She starts to rise, but Carter holds up his hand. "Please, finish your tea. There's no rush." Anna settles back down, wrapping both hands around her cup. The simple gold ring catches the light again. "That's a beautiful ring," Carter observes. Anna glances down and smiles sadly. "It was my husband's grandmother's. He gave it to me 30 years ago." "He must have loved you very much." "He did," Anna whispers. He passed away unexpectedly last year. The words hang heavy in the warm air. Carter feels an unexpected tightness in his chest. I'm sorry for your loss, Carter says sincerely. Anna nods and stands gracefully. Thank you again, Mr. Carter, for everything. She walks toward the door with quiet dignity, and Carter's business card falls from his jacket onto the empty chair.
Carter's office building buzzes with pre-meeting energy. Executives rush through the marble lobby, their footsteps echoing off polished surfaces. Mr. Carter, his assistant Sarah approaches with obvious urgency. Thompson Industries is here early. Carter straightens his expensive watch. Already? The meeting isn't until 9. Their representative insisted on arriving ahead of schedule, Sarah explains. She's waiting in conference room A. Carter's jaw tightens slightly. Thompson Industries has blocked his development project for 8 months. Their lawyers have challenged every permit, questioned every environmental study. Did she give a name? Carter asks. Just said to tell you Anna Thompson would be handling negotiations personally. Carter's coffee cup slips slightly in his grip. Anna. The name echoes strangely in his mind. That's unusual, Carter says. Thompson Industries always sends their legal team. She seemed very confident, Sarah replies. Almost like she knew you personally. Carter's chest tightens with unexpected recognition. But it couldn't possibly be the same Anna. Should I bring coffee to the conference room? Sarah asks. Yes, and those reports from legal, Carter says. He walks toward the elevator, and his business card from last night lies forgotten on his desk. Carter pauses outside conference room A, adjusting his tie. The frosted glass door reveals only a silhouette inside. Deep breath, he murmurs to himself. Just another negotiation. He opens the door and steps inside. The woman sitting at the polished conference table looks up with familiar blue eyes. Anna Thompson rises gracefully, now wearing a tailored navy suit. Her gray hair is styled professionally, and her posture radiates quiet authority. Good morning, Mr. Carter, Anna says with a slight smile. I believe we met yesterday. Carter's mouth opens, then closes without sound. The conference room suddenly feels impossibly small. You're Thompson Industries? Carter manages finally. I founded the company 32 years ago with my late husband. Carter sinks into his chair, his mind racing. The homeless woman he pitied yesterday is his biggest business rival. I don't understand, Carter says. Last night you were homeless? Yes, that's true. But circumstances change quickly in business. Her leather briefcase sits open beside financial documents. Everything appears professionally organized, meticulously prepared. Why didn't you tell me? Anna's fingers trace her wedding ring. Would you have bought dinner for your competition? The conference room door opens, and Sarah enters with a tray of coffee. Sarah places the coffee service on the polished table, her eyes darting between Carter and Anna with obvious curiosity. Will there be anything else? Sarah asks quietly. That'll be all, thank you, Carter replies, without looking away from Anna. The door closes with a soft click, leaving them alone. Anna pours coffee into 2 cups, the liquid steaming in the morning light. You must have questions, Anna says, offering him a cup. Carter accepts it mechanically, still processing her transformation. How is this possible? 6 months ago, I had everything. Company headquarters, luxury condo, investment portfolio. She sips her coffee thoughtfully, her demeanor completely different from last night's vulnerable stranger. Then my business partner embezzled $2 million. He disappeared overnight, leaving massive debts. Carter leans forward despite himself. What did you do? I sold everything to pay employees and creditors. Lost my home, my savings, my credit. The morning sun streams through floor-to-ceiling windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. But you're here now, Carter observes. Inexpensive clothes, carrying a leather briefcase. Anna's smile carries both sadness and determination. I never stopped fighting. She pulls a manila folder from her briefcase, and Carter recognizes his own company logo on the documents inside. Anna spreads the documents across the table with practiced efficiency. Carter recognizes contracts, environmental reports, and financial projections. 2 days ago, I secured emergency funding. Private investors who believe in my vision.
Carter scans the papers, with his business instincts overriding personal confusion. These projections look solid. They should. I've been working on them for 6 months, even while sleeping in shelters. The words hit Carter like a physical blow. While he lived in luxury, she was fighting to rebuild everything. Anna, I had no idea. How could you? Anna interrupts gently. We live in different worlds, Mr. Carter. Her tone carries no bitterness, only quiet truth. Carter feels heat rising in his cheeks. Your development project threatens the last affordable housing in this district. She points to aerial photographs showing modest apartment buildings surrounded by gleaming high-rises. Where will people like me go when you tear down what's left? Carter studies the photos with new eyes. Yesterday, these buildings represented obstacles to profit. I never thought about it that way, Carter admits softly. Anna closes her briefcase with a decisive click. I have a proposal for you. She stands and walks toward the window, and the conference room door opens unexpectedly.
Carter's lead attorney, David Miller, strides into the conference room with obvious confidence. His expensive suit and gold cufflinks announce his status before he speaks. "Sorry I'm late, James," Miller says, barely glancing at Anna. "Traffic was murder." Anna turns from the window, her expression carefully neutral. Miller's eyes widen with recognition. "Wait a minute," Miller says slowly. "Aren't you the woman from the news last month?" Carter's stomach drops. "What news?" "Thompson Industries bankruptcy filing, complete financial collapse, homeless founder, the whole sob story." Anna's face remains composed, but her fingers tighten slightly around her coffee cup. "David, that's enough," Carter warns quietly. "I'm just saying," Miller continues, settling into his chair. "We're negotiating with someone who couldn't even afford rent 6 months ago." The conference room grows uncomfortably quiet. Anna returns to her seat with dignified silence. "Ms. Thompson has secured new funding," Carter says firmly. Miller laughs dismissively. "Oh, I'm sure she has. Probably some feel-good charity investment." Anna opens her briefcase again and removes a thick document. The letterhead reads Blackstone Capital Partners. $50 million, signed yesterday morning, Anna says calmly. Miller's smirk fades, and Carter recognizes the most powerful investment firm in Seattle. Anna reaches for the document with obvious skepticism, but Anna slides it just beyond his grasp. "Perhaps we should focus on the proposal," Anna suggests diplomatically. "Right," Carter says, shooting Miller a warning glance. "What did you have in mind?" Anna spreads a new set of blueprints across the table. The designs show mixed-use buildings with both luxury and affordable units. Joint development, your capital and expertise, my community connections and vision. Carter studies the architectural drawings carefully. The design is innovative, blending upscale amenities with practical affordability. "Interesting concept," Carter admits. "What's the profit margin?" 12% annually, lower than your usual projects, but with guaranteed long-term stability. Miller scoffs audibly. "We can make 20% with standard luxury development and displace 300 families," Anna adds quietly. Her pearl necklace catches the morning light, a simple strand that somehow commands respect in the corporate environment. "This approach benefits everyone," Anna continues. "Residents, investors, and the community." Carter finds himself nodding slowly. "It's not what I expected." "The best solutions rarely are," Anna says with a slight smile. Miller's phone buzzes insistently, and Anna's proposal suddenly feels like more than business. Miller glances at his phone and frowns deeply. "I need to take this call. It's the mayor's office." He steps outside, leaving Carter and Anna alone again. The conference room feels different now, more intimate despite its corporate formality. "You don't have to do this," Carter says quietly. "Partner with me, I mean." Anna looks surprised. "Why would you say that?" "Because of... after yesterday, after how Miller just treated you." Carter trails off, unsure how to continue. "You showed me kindness when I had nothing," Anna replies. "That says more about your character than any business reputation." Carter feels unexpected warmth in his chest. "I was just buying dinner for someone who needed it." "No," Anna says firmly. "You treated me with dignity when most people wouldn't even make eye contact." She pulls a small leather journal from her briefcase. The same worn notebook she carried last night, now looking somehow precious in the morning light. "I've been documenting everything," Anna explains. "The shelters, the interviews, the small acts of human kindness." Carter watches her flip through pages of careful handwriting. "Why?" Carter asks. "Because someday I want to remember that even in the darkest moments, there were people who cared." The conference room door opens suddenly, and Miller returns with obvious agitation. "We have a problem," Miller announces. "The mayor wants to meet this afternoon." Anna closes her journal with deliberate calm, and Carter realizes the stakes just became much higher. Miller paces behind his chair, his earlier confidence completely evaporated. "Mayor Sullivan wants a full presentation by 4 o'clock. Carter checks his watch. 11:30. That's less than 5 hours. She's received complaints about the development. Apparently, there's organized community opposition. Anna's expression remains carefully neutral, but Carter catches a flicker of something in her eyes. "What kind of opposition?" Carter asks. "Petitions, media coverage, the whole activist playbook," Miller replies dismissively. Anna stands gracefully and walks to the window again. From 40 floors up, the affordable housing district looks small and vulnerable. "Ms. Thompson," Miller says slowly, "you wouldn't happen to know anything about this community organizing, would you?" Anna turns back to face them both. "I know those families personally. Their children go to school there. Their elderly parents have lived there for decades." "So you did organize them?" Miller accuses. "I simply told them the truth," Anna replies calmly. Carter feels the weight of divided loyalties. His business partnership with Miller goes back 15 years, but Anna's dignity commands his respect. "What do you suggest we do?" Carter asks Anna directly. She returns to the table and gathers her documents with practiced efficiency. "Present both options to the mayor," Anna says. "Let her choose what's best for the city." Miller's face reddens with obvious frustration, and Anna's proposal becomes their only hope for success.
The mayor's office buzzes with nervous energy. Carter adjusts his tie for the 5th time as staffers rush between rooms with urgent documents. "Mayor Sullivan will see you now," her assistant announces from behind a mahogany desk. Carter, Miller, and Anna enter the spacious office together. Mayor Sullivan rises from behind her desk, her gray suit projecting authority and intelligence. "Good afternoon," Mayor Sullivan says. "I understand we have competing visions for the Riverside District." Miller steps forward immediately. "Mayor Sullivan, Carter Development has been working on this project for 18 months, and I've been living in that community for 6 months." Anna interjects quietly. Mayor Sullivan's eyebrows rise with obvious interest. "Living there? I thought you were representing Thompson Industries." "I am," Anna confirms. "But recent circumstances gave me a unique perspective on affordable housing needs." Carter watches the exchange with growing tension. Everything his company has worked for hangs in the balance. "Show me both proposals," Mayor Sullivan commands, gesturing toward the conference table. Miller spreads his luxury development plans across the polished surface. The renderings show gleaming towers and manicured landscapes. "Standard high-end housing," Mayor Sullivan observes. "What's the community impact?" "Increased property values, higher tax revenue, economic growth," Miller responds automatically. Anna places her mixed development blueprints beside his, and Carter notices how different they look side by side. Anna's finger traces the affordable housing sections of her blueprint. 300 families currently live in those buildings, she explains softly. Mayor Sullivan leans closer, studying the demographic charts. "Where would they relocate?" "That's not really our concern," Miller interrupts. "Market forces will sort that out." Anna's wedding ring catches the afternoon light as she pulls out a manila folder. She has personal testimonies from residents. She spreads photographs across the table, each covered with dozens of signatures. "Mrs. Garcia has lived in 4B for 23 years, Anna says, pointing to one photo. "Her grandchildren visit every Sunday." Carter stares at the images, seeing people instead of profit margins for the first time. "And this is Thomas Sullivan," Anna continues, indicating a young boy. "He walks to school every morning with his sister." Mayor Sullivan's expression softens noticeably at the shared surname. "How old is he?" 7, Anna replies. "Same age as my grandson was when he used to visit me." The office grows quiet, except for the distant hum of city traffic through thick windows. "What happened to your grandson?" Mayor Sullivan asks gently. When I lost everything, I lost contact with my family too. Her simple pearl earrings seem to tremble with emotion, and Carter realizes how much this project means to her personally. Miller clears his throat loudly, breaking the emotional moment. With all due respect, Mayor Sullivan, we can't make business decisions based on sentiment. We're not talking about sentiment, Anna responds firmly. We're discussing community stability and economic diversity. She pulls out financial projections showing long-term benefits of mixed-income housing. Traditional luxury development creates housing bubbles, Anna explains. Mixed communities build sustainable growth. Mayor Sullivan studies both sets of numbers carefully. Carter watches her expression, trying to read which way she's leaning. Mr. Carter, Mayor Sullivan says suddenly, you've been quiet. What's your opinion? Honestly, Carter begins slowly, I never considered the human cost before this week. Miller's eyes widen with alarm. James, what are you saying? I'm saying maybe profit shouldn't be our only consideration. Anna's subtle smile encourages him to keep going. Ms. Thompson's proposal isn't just about housing, Carter realizes aloud. It's about building community. Miller stands abruptly, his chair scraping loudly against the floor. I need to make a phone call. He exits without waiting for permission, leaving Carter and Anna alone with the mayor. Interesting development, Mayor Sullivan observes with a slight smile. Anna's leather briefcase sits open beside her chair, and Carter notices her hands are no longer shaking. Mayor Sullivan walks to her window overlooking the disputed district. From her office, the affordable housing looks small and fragile. I have to make a decision by 6 o'clock, she says without turning around. The city council meets tonight. Carter checks his watch. 5:15. 45 minutes to determine the fate of both projects. What do you need from us? Anna asks calmly. Financial guarantees, community support, proof that this mixed development will actually work. Anna opens her briefcase and retrieves a thick folder. I have signed commitments from 12 community organizations. She spreads petition pages across the table, each covered with dozens of signatures. And Blackstone Capital Partners has agreed to guarantee the affordable housing component. Carter stares at the documents, realizing Anna has been preparing for this moment for months. What about you, Mr. Carter? Mayor Sullivan asks. Are you committed to this joint venture? The question hangs in the air like a challenge. Carter thinks about his dinner with Anna, her dignity in the face of loss, her determination to rebuild. Yes, Carter says finally. I'm in. Miller burst through the door at that moment, his face flushed with obvious anger. James, I just talked to the board. If you partner with Thompson Industries, Carter Development will withdraw from the project entirely. The office falls completely silent, and Carter realizes he must choose between loyalty and conscience in the next 30 minutes.
Carter stares at Miller in complete shock. They can't do that. I built this company from nothing. The board voted unanimously, Miller replies coldly. Partner with Thompson Industries, and you're out. Anna's face shows genuine concern. Mr. Carter, I never intended to cost you your business. Mayor Sullivan watches the confrontation with obvious fascination. Her decision now affects not just housing, but Carter's entire career. 15 years we've worked together, Carter says to Miller. That means nothing? Business is business, Miller responds. You know that. Carter's expensive watch feels suddenly heavy on his wrist. Everything he's built hangs in the balance. What if I withdrew my proposal? Anna offers quietly. You could proceed with the original development. No, Carter says immediately, surprising himself with his conviction. Those families need homes. Miller shakes his head in disgust. You're throwing away millions for people you met yesterday. I'm choosing what's right, Carter corrects him. Anna stands and begins gathering her documents. Her simple gold wedding band catches the afternoon light streaming through the windows. Maybe this was a mistake, Anna says softly. I shouldn't have asked you to risk everything. Carter watches her careful dignity, remembering her quiet strength in the cafe last night. You didn't ask me to risk anything, Carter tells Anna. You showed me what was already at stake. Miller heads for the door, and Carter makes his final choice. David, wait, Carter calls out just as Miller reaches the door handle. Miller pauses without turning around. Changed your mind? No, Carter says firmly. But we've been friends for 15 years. This shouldn't end with anger. Miller finally turns, his expression softening slightly. "James, you're making a huge mistake." "Maybe," Carter acknowledges, "but it's my mistake to make." The office grows quiet except for the distant hum of city traffic. Mayor Sullivan remains by the window, giving them space to resolve their conflict. "The board will destroy you," Miller warns. "They'll tie up your assets, freeze your accounts, ruin your reputation. Then I'll start over," Carter replies calmly. "People do it every day." Anna looks up from her documents with obvious admiration. Her pearl necklace seems to glow in the afternoon light. "You don't have to do this for me," Anna tells Carter quietly. "I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for those families, for Tommy Sullivan and Mrs. Garcia." Mayor Sullivan turns from the window with a slight smile. "That's exactly what I hoped to hear." Miller sighs deeply, his shoulders sagging with defeat. "Good luck, James. You're going to need it." He opens the door and walks out, leaving Carter and Anna alone with the mayor. "Well," Mayor Sullivan says briskly, "shall we finalize this partnership?" Anna's briefcase clicks open, and Carter realizes his old life just ended, but something better is beginning. Anna pulls out partnership agreements already prepared with Carter's name included. Her attention to detail amazes him. "You knew this would happen," Carter observes with growing respect. "I hoped," Anna corrects gently, "based on the kindness you showed yesterday." Mayor Sullivan reviews the contracts quickly, her years of legal experience evident in her rapid comprehension. "Everything looks in order," she announces. "I'm approving the mixed development project." Carter feels a mixture of relief and terror. Financial security is gone, but something more valuable has taken its place. "There is one condition," Mayor Sullivan continues. "I want monthly progress reports from both partners." "Of course," Anna agrees immediately. "And I want community input at every stage, no decisions without resident approval." Carter nods, though the collaborative approach feels foreign to his usual business methods. "When can construction begin?" Mayor Sullivan asks. Anna consults her planning documents. Site preparation could start next month if permits are approved. Carter thinks about his empty calendar, his uncertain future. But looking at Anna's determined expression, he feels oddly hopeful. "I'll need to liquidate some personal assets," Carter admits, "but I can contribute startup capital." Anna's blue eyes show genuine gratitude. "Thank you, James, for everything." The use of his first name feels natural, like they've been partners for years rather than hours. Mayor Sullivan stands and extends her hand, and Carter shakes it, sealing his new future. As they leave the mayor's office, Anna turns to Carter in the marble hallway. Late afternoon sun streams through tall windows. "Are you sure about this?" Anna asks one final time. "There's still time to change your mind." Carter considers everything he's giving up. Luxury office, guaranteed income, social status among Seattle's business elite. "Yesterday, you thanked me for seeing past appearances. Today, you helped me see past my own limitations." Anna's smile transforms her entire face, erasing years of worry and hardship. "My husband always said the best partnerships are built on mutual respect. I think he would have liked you." Carter feels unexpected emotion tightening his throat. "I hope I can live up to his example." They walk toward the building's exit together, their footsteps echoing in harmony. Anna's pearls earrings adjust, she looks straight into his eyes. "What happens now?" Carter asks as they reach the revolving doors. "Now we build something beautiful. Homes where families can put down roots and children can grow up safely." Carter pushes through the door first, then holds it open for Anna. The Seattle street bustles with evening commuters heading home. "Anna," Carter says as they emerge into the cool air, "thank you for giving me the chance to do something meaningful." She adjusts her pearl earrings and looks directly into his eyes. "Thank you for proving that kindness and business success can coexist." They stand together on the busy sidewalk. Two people who found each other across the divide between wealth and poverty, past and future, cynicism and hope. In the end, a simple dinner shared between strangers became the foundation for something much greater. A partnership built on dignity, a community restored through compassion, and the quiet truth that we are all more alike than different.
Sometimes the most powerful transformations begin with the smallest acts of human kindness.